Because I realize or have been through the hard, and I realize not a lot of or enough people are talking about the postpartum or the hard part of motherhood, and it's everything is just, it looks picture perfect. And that maybe you brought up earlier, where it was a moment where I was posting so much, all the happy moments,
and then it was beautiful,
and I disappeared. I've been going on my page recently, and I'm like, oh my God.
You saw the gap.
And that in itself is heartbreaking.
And on this beautiful day, I want to introduce to you Miss Tylea Davenport.
Hi everyone, my name is Tylea Davenport. I'm a 29-year-old born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and I am a first-time mother. I have a beautiful son that is 2 years old. He was born December 7th, 2023. I had to think about it for a second, but I'm a first-time mom, and I am so happy to be here to tell my story and just go through the journey of motherhood that I've been on and the postpartum journey that I have been facing. So super excited to be here, and thank you so much for having me.
And we are so excited for you to be here. So we definitely will get into the postpartum journey, but first, we want to know about Tylea before motherhood. Let's talk about that.
Oh, girl. So Tylea before motherhood, she was having a ball.
Okay. Let's do tell.
Girl.
Do tell. What does a ball look like, girl?
Traveling.
Ooh.
Going out.
What are some of the places you visited?
Where were we going? Florida. I would go visit my family in California, Tennessee,
so
Alabama.
all over the U.S.
Just not the top part yet. Yet. But I definitely visit several locations in the South, in the bottom half of the U.S. And that was my most exciting part, because I was actually starting to do what I wanted to do, which was travel. So me before motherhood, I was working intensively. I had 3 jobs at the time. And just at the time I was working 3 jobs and just getting started. I had a goal in mind. I wanted to
That's okay. Let's start with because we talked about, I don't want to go too much into that part yet. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about Tylea before what Tylea as a child. Because on one of your interviews, it was really interesting to me when you say you didn't play with dolls. Mm-hmm. Like, you didn't play with dolls, and then when you found out that you were becoming a mom, it freaked you out, right? Mm-hmm. But when you say you didn't play with dolls, I was like, what little girl didn't play with dolls? So let's talk about your childhood a little bit. What did you play with? Did you cook with your mom? Did you, play house?
I was really just a quiet to myself child. I was a Disney Channel sit in front of the TV and just consume what I'm watching at that time. It was a point when my family, I was raised, or I went around my grandparents often. Every day after school, we would get dropped off. That was the house we got dropped off at. So all of my cousins, we happened to be the same age. So it was maybe 6 or 7 of us. And we all got off the bus together or came home together. And we were outside. We were outside playing, either fighting, running around, racing, doing something, getting in trouble, X, Y, and Z. And the great part about my family, my dad's side of the family and my mom's side as well, they all come from Valley Park. So My mom's side was on Yazoo Street,
Okay.
which is in Valley Park, and on the next street was Mississippi Street, which is where my dad grew up.
Oh, wow.
So they were right.
So your dad and your mom from the same neighborhood?
Same neighborhood, a street over from each other.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yes. So my mom's side had a lot of property on Yazoo Street. We had maybe 3 homes. My grandmother's home, my great-grandmother's home, and then some rental property. So it was our own little area. And then on Mississippi Street, my grandfather, my father's dad, he built them a home on the end of, it was a dead end.
Oh, wow.
So we had that end of the street as well.
Street.
So I lived a beautiful life
as a child.
And then it was an opening between the 2 streets, so it was like a forest little area where you could just go from one street to the next.
Oh, that's
so if I wanted to go to my mama's house, wanted to go to my grandmother's house, I'll go through the woods and go there, and then the next street I'll just go see my other grandparents. So I can say I truly had a wonderful upbringing, far as of very family oriented on both sides of my family.
Yeah.
So I wasn't necessarily a girly girl where I wanted to just play with dolls and do hair and all of that. I was outside with the boys. I wanted to hang out and have fun and enjoy myself, as well as watch TV, my favorite TV shows and stuff like that. So,
did you ever imagine that you would become a mom?
No.
Maybe that's why you didn't play with dolls, because you didn't want to be a mom.
I was a part of, was this college? My friend group, none of us had children at the time. And I think this was when we graduated high school, and right before I got pregnant, maybe a year or 2 before I got pregnant, that's who I was traveling with. And we had the freedom to just get up and go. And when I say we got up and go and did everything, and hey girl, come here, we at the spot, let's go take a trip to Florida, and we would all just pack up our bags and just go. We kind of had a little saying, we were team F them kids. Excuse my French. Excuse my French. But that was not our
And then the drum roll happened. What were your thoughts when you looked at that stick and those lines were on there?
I take pictures of everything. When I say I have so much content and I just don't feel like editing, but I could probably be a millionaire about how many pictures and videos I have in my phone. But I was just looking at the picture of the test the other day, and I may have taken a test before, but it was just to do it. So this time I took the test just to see, because I was feeling some type of way.
Yeah.
So I took the test. I took the basic test with the 2 lines on it. Took the test, and it was one straight line, and then the other one was
faint. Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I don't think this mean nothing. But I was like, I don't really understand, because I was looking at the instructions, and I was like, maybe I need to. Let me get something more definite.
Yeah, that faint line will confuse you.
And it did. So I was like, let me just get a real test that's going to say pregnant or not pregnant. Oh. The digital version. And girl, that thing said pregnant.
Ooh. And what did you do? Where were you at the time?
I'm sure I was at my house. I can't remember vividly. But I was at my home and just shocked is the feeling that I could think of. Just shocked and in disbelief. It was something that I wasn't expecting or even trying to do, but it happened. I was in a relationship at the time, so it wasn't completely like, just out the blue, or something that just really was shocking or surprising. Thank God at the time I was in a relationship with someone. So it was like, oh crap. But then it's
You
actually
said
with someone I love.
right, and you said that it frightened you. So I heard that in one of your previous interviews. You said becoming a mom scared you.
Yes.
So you made it look easy to
I
some
did.
degree. You did. I always saw you really happy with your baby.
Yes.
But that just goes to show you that, you can't go off of
What you see.
what you see only, that you got to check on your people.
Yeah.
You have to check on your people.
Hmm.
And so let's talk about that. Let's talk about how outwardly someone could be, with the most beautiful smile, but inwardly really suffering and dealing with some things. Because what I've heard you say so far is that you went from living your best life, getting up and go, right, whenever you wanted to, and traveling, working three jobs, money was good, freedom was good. You had no worries per se,
And I was
and you
getting my
was
sexy
enjoying,
back.
right, and you was enjoying your life,
Hmm.
college, finishing up, getting
Yeah.
those letters behind your name, all the
Hmm.
goals being checking the boxes.
Literally.
And then dum 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 dum, here comes the
So
cutest kid ever.
he's so beautiful.
He is. And then what I heard you say is that scared me. This
Hmm.
fearless young lady who tackled three jobs at one time,
Hmm.
that kicked down the doors on those degrees, that traveled fearlessly wherever she wanted to go,
Hmm.
was afraid to become a
You
mom.
know why?
Let's talk about it.
My parents.
What about them?
My parents is the reason why I was terrified, honestly. I had in my mind that I was going to be married, first of all. That was my biggest dream. I wanted to be married, in a loving relationship, and then produce. Getting married, then producing my offsprings.
So things didn't check off in the order that
That
you wanted
order.
them to.
Because all my life I've been checking boxes as it was supposed to go in my mind, or as my family or my parents are telling me, this is what you do, this is what you do, and this is what you do next. And then, society as well is step by step by step. But when that test became positive, I'm like, oh crap, I don't have no ring on this finger. I don't, I didn't, I was terrified,
Yeah.
especially to tell my parents. I was grown and I was still scared to tell my parents that I had done this, or I had, gotten pregnant.
What was their reactions? It probably was not anything what you thought it was going to be.
I can't remember my mother's reaction, but I don't know if this was a holiday for my dad. But I gave him, I think it was a holiday, because we were out to eat with his wife, my stepsister, and a few other family members. And I remember I did a card for him,
Mm.
and I put the ultrasound in the card. And he's just thinking it's a regular present, and he reading the card, and the first thing that came out was the ultrasound.
Oh, wow.
And he not thinking nothing of it, but his wife was like, "You pregnant?" Because she seen it. I'm like, wait, I wanted him to actually read the
Oh,
card
my
first.
gosh.
Because I'm announcing that he's about to be a grandfather.
Yeah.
But she ruined
She
that
let
part.
the cat out the bag.
She ruined that part. And he was like, who? Who pregnant? You should have seen his face. He's like, who?
Oh,
And
my goodness.
so, yeah, that was the introduction for him. I can't vividly think of what my mom's reaction
I
was.
remember receiving a message from you saying you were in the hospital. because we spoke before.
Mm-hmm.
And I need to look through my phone
Mm-hmm.
to see if I still have the earlier messages. But like I remember talking to you via text, or either on the phone. I can't remember if we had a conversation or via text. And I was concerned.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Who's with you?" And you said your mom was coming from
California.
California.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And I remember you going in early. We were supposed to do some maternity pictures.
Mm-hmm. See, I didn't forget all about
Yeah,
that.
we were supposed to
Okay.
do some maternity pictures, and I had invited you to something. You weren't able to come. I just was led to check on you, and every now and then we would text each other
Yeah.
back. And then, yeah, I remember you going into labor. I remember us talking about it. I asked if you needed anything. You said your mom was coming, and
Mm-hmm.
then I didn't, bother you anymore. And then
I do. Yeah, I do recall
you
this.
remember that? And
Mm-hmm.
then after the baby was born, then
Mm-hmm.
we communicated again.
Yeah.
I believe you even sent us pictures so that we could see him.
Mm.
And so, yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember that. I remember that part. I remember seeing you um, posting a lot and being in your happy place. And then I remember seeing a period of time that you was almost not around anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wondered what was going on. But I
Mm-hmm.
never really asked. Every now and then I would just say, "Hey, how you doing? I miss you. I haven't seen you in a while.
Mm-hmm.
I miss you at church, or haven't
Mm-hmm.
seen you, on social media." And you
Mm-hmm.
would just say, "I'm okay." Or you would
Mm-hmm.
say something like hanging in there. Just not anything in detail.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about those days as you got further along in your pregnancy.
So I can honestly say I had a very easy pregnancy. I don't know if it was me losing the amount of weight that I lost 30 pounds before I got pregnant. And when I say the whole entire pregnancy, I remained small and just had my belly.
Yeah.
I didn't have any health issues. I didn't have any aches or pains. Like, I really had a great pregnancy. The only reason, I think I went to California, and on my way back to Louisiana via plane, I started having contractions. So I'm just thinking I'm going home and about to enjoy my time back at home from a vacation with my mom and my sister, and the kids. And I started contracting. I'm like, wait a second. And not knowing what contractions are even
On the
are.
plane, how long was your flight?
Over an hour or so. I don't remember vividly, but it wasn't terrible. Like, it wasn't like, oh my God, I got to get out. But I
Right,
felt
right.
uncomfortable. I knew something was going on. And yeah,
So
time.
how long after you got off the plane did you go to the hospital?
We went immediately. I went immediately. My dad came and picked me up from the airport
Mm-hmm.
and drove me straight to the hospital.
Yeah.
And I was participating in the birthing center before, but the birthing center, that's no insurance or anything. That's paying out of pocket, trying to do it the natural way, holistic way, and with doulas on your team.
Yes.
But because you go in early, they're not able to even touch you because of safety risks, because they don't know
Right.
what's going on or why you're even going in early.
So you ended up having to have your baby at the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes. So I wasn't. I was freaking out. Of course, I'm like, I had a vision of where I was giving my birth to my baby, and then it changed,
Yeah.
and I wasn't ready for that switch yet. But you can't stop a baby from coming. So I just had to get with the program. My dad picked me up. He don't know what to do. He's like, what the heck is going on? And I called my child's father's mother. She lives not too far from me.
So where was he?
He works offshore. So he's gone for 3 weeks and he's home for 3 weeks.
Got you.
So at the time,
He was offshore.
he was offshore.
Oh, wow.
And my mom was in California. So all I had was my father and his mother.
Wow.
So At the time, she had maybe 11 or 12-year-old. So she had to find someone to get her daughter and then rush to the hospital to be with me. My dad was there, and I remember his mom had him and my mother on FaceTime.
Oh,
The
wow.
entire time, and I could just hear everybody just telling me, giving me encouraging words, and I could see my daddy in the corner just having his eyes closed during the process.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh goodness.
And then you delivered this beautiful baby.
Mm-hmm.
And so, at what point, because I know where you are now,
Yes.
so at what point was the baby's father not in the picture?
I decided to leave when my baby was 1, or I believe he was 1 at that time. It was right around, I think my baby made 1 in December, and I may have left in January. At the time we were living together, we moved in together. I don't know if it was before pregnancy. No, it wasn't. It was when I had the baby.
Mm-hmm.
We were living separately, and that was my concern. Like, you know, we're in 2 separate households. How is this going to work? He owned a home, or
Mm-hmm.
owns a home. So I was in an apartment at that time. So he just wanted us to live with him. So, yeah, I decided to walk away a year into our baby being here. And
Let's talk
things are
about the
different.
strength it took to do that, because there's so many women that feel like they can't do it on their own, and so they stay and accept whatever those things may be that don't necessarily empower them or build them, or it just
Yeah.
kind of bogs them down. It keeps them from getting to the next place.
Mm-hmm.
It make their goals almost non-existent.
Yeah. Become
Not saying that
stagnant.
a relationship always does that,
Mm-mm.
but when you are not in the right relationship,
Mm-hmm.
it'll begin to um, smother those things, and before you know it, you're trying to figure out, who am I?
Yeah.
I know this from personal experience.
Mm-hmm.
I probably should have been doing podcasting 20 years ago,
Yeah.
you know, but I wasn't there because I had lost sight of who I am, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and I had
Yeah.
to get to a place of courage where I just moved forward to do all of those things that I've always wanted to do. So when you were at that turning point, what did it take? Tell me, I need you to dig deep and talk about, what did it take for you to be so courageable that you could take another step and say, you know what, I might have to do this by myself. I'm not really going to be by myself, but I need to take this step for me. What did it take for you to do that?
My village. I can honestly say I did not have the courage to do it on my own. I'll be honest and say that, because I was in love with this person. This I knew, or I wanted wholeheartedly for that to be my husband. You're the father of my child. I actually love you, and we're living together. Like, all the steps was aligning. No fussing, no fighting, nothing, no abuse going on.
Yeah.
So I just knew this was gonna be my person. Um,
So what changed? Without going too much into your
mhm.
personal, but enough into personal that it can help someone who's in that situation. Because there's someone out there that's in that same situation
Mhm.
that is trying to find the courage to just move past a moment that's keeping them bogged down.
Yeah. It. The main issue for me was the work, his job. I was a struggling first time mother. I needed him. I needed him. Luckily, my mom, not luckily because she's in the healing stages, but she was offering work. By the grace of God, it just happened in the right timing. So she was able to stay here and help me in the beginning of my child being here. But it's nothing like having the father of your child.
Yeah.
Someone, this is your child as well. And I want to co-parent with the person that I have, that I made the child with. And he kept saying he was going to get a different job. He wanted to be home more. And that just never happened. So I was lonely. I was very, very lonely. And I don't know the right words for it. I don't know if it was just him being complacent, or it's just like, I'm making the money, you're staying home with the child, everything's fine. What is there to complain about? But I genuinely just needed him around. I wanted him around. And when he did come back home after the 3 weeks was over, it was a vacation for him. He wanted to relax and, hang out with his boys. And the shift didn't change for him. He did get the fact that he was a father. Very great father, very active. I definitely will give him his flowers for that. But the shift doesn't change for men as much as it does for women. I have to wake up and go to sleep with this child. And I was breastfeeding. I breastfed up until maybe 10 months of his life. So I have this person, this new human that I'm getting to know, that is attached at my hip. I'm not getting sleep. I'm exhausted. I'm overwhelmed. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. But by the grace of God,
You're learning as you go.
I'm learning as I go. And my mother was there to help facilitate as well, or assist me. And I will say he was an active person as well. So when he was home, he would sweep and mop or cook, and lend a hand when he could. But he wants a vacation. He
still had more freedom to go and to do things. Yes.
And it was lonely for me. You're outside having a good time, and I'm at home with our baby, and I wasn't getting taken out on dates or just having any alone time with him. So it was just very, very lonely. The more I tried to pull and get him closer to me, it was just like, oh, you're all right. You're okay. I'll see you in a minute. I'll be back.
So let's talk about how that affected you.
Mentally, it really affected me and sent me in a depression. Mentally, because nothing sounds bad about the relationship.
Yeah.
I can honestly say we didn't argue, fuss, or fight, any of those things. The main issue outside of that was our perspectives on life.
Mm-hmm.
We are two different religions. I was born and raised in Christianity. He was too, but then ventured off into African spirituality. So that was a big issue in our relationship. I was busy trying to learn his way of life, of how to adapt to his ways of life and the natural lifestyle, and how, because at the time he was a part of an actual school that taught him about this religion. So I was not only being a mother, learning on the job, but also learning his side of things.
Wow.
As well as trying to stay sane on my own outside of being for others. So it just was very overwhelming. And in the process, we could not get on the same page.
So when did you realize that you were in a state of depression? Because a lot of people are depressed or have been pulled into depression and cannot even recognize that they are.
Yeah, you don't know, and you don't know when you're in it.
Who identified it?
I would say my mom, if I'm remembering correctly.
Tell me some of those things that changed about you that made her alarmed.
So I will be honest with you. I was diagnosed with dissociative amnesia.
After the baby?
Yes. This was after I left him. So
tell me what that is. Because this is my first time hearing.
Girl, it was my first
time. So your
hearing
doctor diagnosed you with it?
My doctor diagnosed me with dissociative amnesia. And
what is that supposed to mean? I know amnesia means memory loss to some part.
Disassociating, from what I can gather, is trying not to feel. You're disassociating from the trauma that you're experiencing. So the motherhood or the overwhelmingness of losing your child's your relationship, along with figuring out who you are again, grieving who you used to be, and trying to raise another human being, keeping him alive and all of that, and the expectations of what a mother is. It was like I was trying to disassociate from all of those expectations to the point where my mind just completely shut off.
So there's some people that may watch this podcast episode and say, oh, girl, get a life. That's what we were placed on this earth to do. We're women. Women bear children. At the end of the day, mom has to be mom. But that does not make it okay.
No.
It doesn't make it okay.
And that was my biggest struggle. And I didn't get that from the women's side, because if you've had a child, you kind of know, it's not every woman experienced the same things, but
or not every woman talks about what they experience. Sometimes we experience things, but in our mind we camouflage it and make it seem like it's something else.
Yep.
And hide the hurt.
Yes.
And carry the baggage for years and years and years.
Yes. At the time, I would say I got a lot of validation from women, though. I will say, I feel like because I was speaking it out loud, they were validating. If you don't speak it, no one will be able to relate to your story.
Tell me about a most impactful validation moment. Someone who was so impactful that helped you get through that outside of your mom.
I can't remember one. I don't know. The only one that I know has struggled through motherhood was my sister.
But I'm speaking of you going through what you went through. The people that would stand out. The people that would stand out that you knew were your safe place outside of your mom. That were able. You had a village. You spoke about a village, right? A lot of people feel that they don't want other people to know when they're going through things, not realizing that your village can go far beyond your immediate family, right? That God could have already appointed your village in somebody even that you barely know. But they are capable of being able to help you through a moment, maybe not the entire stages of what you're dealing with, but life can be so overwhelming. Sometimes we have to take things moment by moment. I mean, sometimes a day can be overwhelming. You got to dissect that doggone day, and say, let me get through the morning. Then let me try to get through the afternoon, and then I made it through the night. Let's try this again tomorrow. Instead of, oh my God, I don't know what I'm going to do with this day. Just thinking about it just gives me anxiety, right? And I honestly know that that's not what God has for our life. And so you had to have those people that were so influential to you that slowly but surely they helped you to, move past that. But also your doctors, So what would you recommend to a woman who is going through situations after having a baby, to help them understand, or maybe to even be able to identify, hey, talk to somebody, because this could be what is occurring. A lot of times we think it cannot happen to us.
Right.
You
I
know?
didn't think even a thing. Dissociative amnesia. I've never heard of it in my life.
I've never heard of it until today.
Everyone I talk to, I'm like, what is that?
And so is it often that people talk to you about things you don't remember when it comes to
Every
that?
day. It's so weird because I'm 29. My parents, I have an older father. He is 66. They're 10 years apart. So 66 and 56 is my mother. And I'm their go-to person. They call me and I remind them. Over the past 2 years, they're the ones that I'm calling for them to remind me. So the roles have reversed.
Wow.
So that in itself is like a change. But every day I talk to girlfriends, family, and be like, girl, you remember we did this? No, but can you remind me? So when I ask, like, remind me or tell me or I don't remember, it's because of the dissociative amnesia.
Yeah, because I saw your face when I was talking to you about us having a conversation. Because I knew when you went into labor.
See,
I
don't
knew
remember any of
that you were freaking out. And after you spoke about you going into labor on the plane, I remembered you telling me that. And for me, it's not the dissociative amnesia. It's just the meds that my doctor give me. I get brain fog. And sometimes I get brain fog. It's really a thing.
I didn't know that until recently.
I used to remember everything.
Yep.
Now I write it down. I put it on the calendar. I find ways to deal with it and to remember it doesn't affect me in such a way that it's affecting my business or, life to that degree, thank God. But I've learned ways to cope with it and to counteract the effect that it could have.
So that was my main issue. I believe, and I might have a lawsuit going on. I don't know. I hope so, actually, because
I hope so too.
Because I don't know if it was the medicine that I was taking due to the depression. It is later coming out that a certain medicine I was taking causes amnesia, or forgetfulness and all of that. So I don't know. I've been trying to piece it together when it started. All I know, I just woke up one day and I could not remember who my child was or where I was. The home that I've been living in for, so I moved out of his home, but I went right back to the same apartment. So I've been there before I moved out for like 5 or 6 years. So been there, know it very, clearly, but I couldn't remember where I was at.
So when you went back to the apartment, you didn't recognize it being?
No, I remember I didn't have the amnesia episode until like maybe months or so until after moving back in.
Gotcha.
So I had already been back established in my apartment, and then I woke up, couldn't remember nothing.
So at what moment did you realize that something was wrong?
Immediately. I'm like, who the heck is this? Who is this child? Like, that's how bad it was. I did not remember who my child was.
And so what did you do? Did you call someone?
Called my mother. I did remember her. I called her, and she like, what are you talking about? How you don't? What's what's going on? My mother is very anxious, an anxious person. So that she be so worried about me and my sister. We
Yeah.
be stressing her out, but it sent her into panic mode. And luckily she did call my dad, and he did come to assist me. But that was the one person that I remember to call.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you went to the doctor afterwards?
Yep. And that's what I was diagnosed with. I do have a great care team that has been following me um, throughout pregnancy and having the child. So that is my psychiatrist, and he's been seeing the evolution of everything. So it's been good to feel a consistent person that has seen all of the different stages outside of family. So that's what I would advocate most for women, pregnant women, first time moms or mothers in general, is to seek care team for mental health. It's so many things that we do not even, no one talks about. The postpartum is the most not talked about issue that is very prevalent in motherhood. That is what all mothers experience, but yet no one talks about it in full depth and details, because it affects us in very negative ways.
So, dissociative
amnesia.
Dissociative amnesia. So if you are watching this episode, if you or someone you know have suffered from dissociative amnesia, or you've even heard of this associative amnesia, comment in the comment box below. Let us know what you know about this. This is my first time hearing about it. And I believe truly there's so many people that need to know what this is. There may be people that are suffering from this and it has not been diagnosed. It has not been identified. They may not have told anyone about it. This really can be a really big support to somebody who's going through. So let's make sure that this vlog is being shared. Make sure you share it with everyone that you know. Tylea, is there anything else about this particular amnesia that you could tell them that may be able to benefit? Signs, warning signs, triggers.
I will honestly say it just happened. That's the scary part about it. I have woken up maybe 3 times total since the birth of my child, not remembering anything.
After you went to the doctor, did they tell you there were certain things that you did not need to do? Certain things you should not consume? Certain places you shouldn't go? Certain levels of stress you shouldn't have? With any precautionary measures that they gave you?
They educated me on what it was, but they couldn't tell me like why it was happening. They just basically referred me to a therapist. That way they talked about the dissociative part, so it could be contributing to the depression. So let's go talk to a therapist. Let's see what's going on. Let's talk it out, see if you can get it out, and then make it better.
So do you find yourself regaining some of that memory?
I will say within the past few months, it has been coming back. Slowly but surely, but I still ask questions. I'm always like, I just come to grips with it. I don't remember. It is what it is. And I keep it moving. So all of my friends, my family, I'm very open about it. And I'll be like, charge it to my heart, my head, not my heart. I just don't remember. It's not that I don't want to. I just ask you, can you tell me again? Like, remind me about what happened. And then I have to relive it all over again.
Yeah. So we talked about Tylea as a child.
Yes.
We talked about Tylea, in your young adult life. We talked about Tylea in a relationship, as a new mom. We talked about Tylea overcoming some things and getting to a better place. Obviously, you're there because you're here today. Let's talk about your present. What does life look like, particularly for you now, after having undergone all of those things? You know, the new diagnosis. You know, your baby's 2 now. You know, doing new things. You licensed. You're licensed. Um, what does professionally? What does that look like for you now? What does it look like for you as a mom?
So I had the beautiful opportunity to stay home with my baby. So I was a stay-at-home mom, and I was able to actually connect with my baby without a time crunch of a 6 to 8 weeks minimum, before I got back to work. So that was in itself amazing opportunity. It was a lot,
Yeah.
but I enjoyed it, and very grateful that I had the opportunity to do that. Um,
It's okay.
all right. Ask me one.
Okay. So you had the opportunity to be at home with the baby. Um, and a lot of women would love that opportunity. That is beautiful. You were able to bond with him. But like now, how are you now? Where are you going now? What does life look
Okay.
like for you now?
Okay. So I would say, when I finally came to grips that our relationship wasn't coming back, it's time. Rent was piling up. I had to pay the bills. I was on my own, back in my own environment. My landlord was like, "Okay, I didn't gave you enough time. Let where's my money?" Basically, with grace, of course, because they definitely understood the circumstances. Thank God, but
What kind of landlord you had? Because baby,
exactly, family.
1 month.
That's what it is.
Oh, beautiful.
That's why. Thank God for the grace of God. I have an amazing family,
That's awesome.
but everybody doesn't have that same story,
Exactly.
and that's why they have to rush and get back to work. So they gave me the grace to get myself together, get situated in my new place, adjust to being alone with my baby. But they was like, "Okay, I didn't gave you some time. What's next?" So I did. I got back. Even before, I will rewind it a bit. Before I decided to separate from him, I would say in 6 months into after having my baby, I did try to go back to work, and it was telehealth. So something I attempted to get. I wanted to get my license. So I'm a social worker. I did get my master's in 2021, but there's another step to that. You have to become a LMSW, which is a licensed master social worker, to even be able to practice in the field, to actually do any clinical work with your clients.
Yeah.
So I have been a bad test taker my entire life, or so I thought. So I've always been scared to take standardized testing, that's LEAP testing, ACTs. It gives me anxiety.
It feels like we talked about this before.
So I was also held back in maybe second grade, because I think in my reading area, I wasn't doing well. So they held me back a whole year. So my whole upbringing, I didn't think I was adequate enough. So I did what I was supposed to do. I made sure I got the good grades and honor roll X, Y, and Z. But for standardized testing, I always didn't feel like I could do that
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
And the test will show it will be unsatisfactory or just basic. You know, it was never like how my peers would be you know, above
Excellent.
exactly. So I had graduated with my master's in 21. I did not take my LMSW test until 24.
Oh, wow. And you had the baby in 23.
23.
So when you took the test,
My baby gave me the motivation to do it. Something just told me I got to at least try. Let me do it. Let me see how the test is. And then let's see if we can study. I didn't study. I may have looked at a few things before. From 21 to 24, I had taken so many different courses. People, you know, content creators, like, I can help you pass this and I can help you pass that. And I would sign up for those courses. I'll buy all the books and all the study material. Never look at it. Or I did in some cases, but never, you know, I just still didn't feel prepared.
yeah.
So when I finally decided, my baby got here, and then in 24, I was like, let me just test it out to see if I can do it. And then based off of those results, I'll know which areas that I need to study in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, girl, I took that test
And passed it.
on the first try. On the first try. When I say I didn't even believe it, not the girl that was held back a grade.
It goes to show you. And it makes me think about, and the last shall be first.
Mm-hmm. And
Like, no one needs to. So this right here should give somebody motivation that you are not counted out just because of what someone says, that you are not what someone says that you are. You are who you want to be.
and that's that. I didn't realize that until motherhood.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
I didn't.
So do you have any closing statements for them? You know, as a matter of fact, before we close, what is next for you? What's next for Tylea?
So, I'm super excited. I keep talking about first time motherhood, but my baby is almost 3 now. So, you know, I've gotten some notches under my belt when it comes to motherhood, and I feel like I'm doing the dang thing at this point. Still overwhelmed, you know. I take my medicine and make sure I'm good every day. But I'm showing up for myself now more than anything.
Good for you.
And so that's what this next season is about, is redefining who Tylea is.
Yeah.
And that was the whole, it was so weird. Church last Sunday, that was the main topic. It was about redefining who you are. The person I was before I had a baby is completely different than who Tylea is today.
Yeah.
I don't even know who all she is just yet, but I'm on the journey to navigating and figuring out who that is. So I'm really excited. I have really felt the best that I have ever felt in a very long time.
Yeah.
I feel
and you look great.
Yeah. I feel more empowered to just get up and go. So, with that being said, I did start my own women's self-defense company. Actually, I started it back in 2021.
Do tell the name.
The name of the business is Brave Defense. I named it, I am an Alcornite from the Alcorn State University. And it just was so fitting for the Brave to be a part of it. And so I wanted to make a company dedicated to protecting women. Oftentimes we look for men to be our saviors, but unfortunately in this new generation, we cannot rely on them to protect us. We're on our own in some cases. Some women are very blessed and lucky, but for the most part, you have to make sure you got you before anybody else.
Yeah.
So I remember my grandmother ended up passing at the same time. And I did it she inspired me to create the company. My grandmother was the most terrified person you'll meet. Funny, beautiful spirit, but she stayed in her house. People came to visit her. She hated the interstate. She hated going places. She watched Law and Order every day.
Oh, wow.
She watched the news.
That'll do it right there.
And I probably know every episode. And the news was her favorite show. One of those TV shows or a murder mystery.
I think there may be a name for that too.
It's something.
It has to be.
It's something. I'm pretty sure. But it was definitely what I was used to growing up. I grew up seeing that. And she would always call me and my sister, my mom, "Are y'all okay? What's going on?" Just making sure she knew our whereabouts. So after her passing, I wanted to, I just didn't want anyone to feel afraid anymore.
Yeah.
I wanted to empower women to gain their power back and say, I can't experience life. But within experiencing life, I have to do it safely and cautiously, but not to the point where I can't live. Let me take these tools. I have tools to empower myself to know that I got my back if something was to happen. And so that's why I created the company.
Yeah.
To empower women to feel safe and protected and look good while doing it. So I do have some products to show you guys if you want to see it.
Of course.
So I do have, I create my own wristlets.
Okay.
So each wristlet may have pepper spray on them, a self-defense tool.
Those are precious.
This is one of them. And I recently just got my logo printed as a part of it. So this is something new. Thank you. So, and that's what it was, is protecting yourself and looking good while doing it.
Yeah.
It can be a statement piece. Somebody's going to recognize and like, oh, this is cute and it's stylish. You can hang it on the side of your purse. It's something that is eye-catching, so you will look good while holding these accessories.
Yes.
So it all comes with a self-defense tool. So this is like a brass knuckle. Somebody is going to get off of you if this is put on them, and say God forbid you're trapped in the car, you will be able to break the glass to get out of the car if needed. Yeah. All of them come with a pepper spray, as well as a door opener. It also is a bottle opener or a stylus. So I know during COVID time, this was real popular because we wasn't touching the doors. And it definitely gets the job done. And this one is a flashlight. So if you're putting your key in the door, the lights are off, you can't see, it definitely does the job for as
nice
being able to see. And this part is an alarm. So this is your alarm. So if somebody is hurting you or doing something to you, you pull this and I guarantee you the people around the corner will hear it.
Wow. It's that loud.
You want to see it? I don't know if you do, but because it's definitely it's loud, but it's definitely an attention grabber.
I love it.
You will definitely hear when somebody is in trouble. And so I recently just got my logo. I have it in each color so it can match each set that I have. And on the back of it, and it has Brave Defense, and it has someone holding as a power symbol with the defense tool in their hand. And on the back of it, it has my QR code to be able to access my website.
I love it.
So,
and it comes in multiple colors.
Multiple colors. I have I just bought a few today. This is a green. I don't have the names of these. These are brand new. I brought this one because this is like a Southern University
It
colors.
is
Yes,
cute.
so
I love the bling.
yes, girl. And another one that I was proud of having. Um, so those are pre-made, already made wristlets. But I did, when I first started, I did make my own wristlets. So
Nice.
these are handmade wristlets. Some of them come, I always include lip gloss with each set. And this is another defense tool. So you'll either get the cat version or the stick version. It's a odd, weird name, so I'm not gonna say it. But it fits perfectly in your hand, and somebody, if you touch it,
Oh yeah, he's coming up off you.
yeah, it's no way you can survive. If you need to get somebody off you and
Yeah.
break the window, it will happen.
It will happen.
Yes. So, and this was another like a luxury version. I was able to
Cute.
get
Look at this. Very thoughtful and stylish.
super super cute for the just the everyday girl.
Perfect.
And you can switch it up. You got
And
a black bag one day, pick it up. You got a pink or a red. You know, every day could be something different. And that's what I try to do. I try to switch it up every day. I wear a different version of my products.
so tell them, how can they get these products?
So on Instagram and Facebook, I do have social media accounts. They are titled Brave Defense. So that's where I will be posting each new coming set that I create. Majority of the time, they are unique. So if you want a specific design, you can tell me what colors, what you want on your keychain, and I can make it and tailor it.
So they're custom.
Customized, yes.
Customized.
Yes. So there's
would you
always
say
just one.
something a little different to everyone? Each
Yes.
one has something a little different.
Pretty much, yes.
Okay. All right. Well, you need to get with your girl, get your defense tools ready, but you will also be able to see her this year at Pink on Purpose,
Yes.
which will be on October 24th.
Okay.
So we established that she's going to already be a vendor. And so you'll be
Super
able to get it
excited.
then, or you can go to her website like today,
Yes.
like right now. Okay.
Yes.
You can go to her Instagram and Facebook, and you can find a link to be able to support her business. But please make sure you engage in this video. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you want to see more of. Ask questions. Connect with Miss Davenport even on her social media.
And something that I really am proud about this is the new journey that I'm starting, is I want to help other mothers. Because I realize or have been through the hard, and I realize not a lot of or enough people are talking about the postpartum or the hard part of motherhood. And everything is just, it looks picture perfect.
Yeah.
And that maybe you brought up earlier, where it was a moment where I was posting so much, all the happy moments.
And
then
it was beautiful.
And I disappeared. And I didn't realize it. I've been going on my page recently, and I'm like, oh my God.
You saw the gap.
And I saw how happy I was.
Yeah.
And that in itself is heartbreaking, because, you know, I was in a really good place.
Yeah.
But until I wasn't. I don't know when the shift happened. I do, but I don't. You know, the exact moment or the exact cause, you know, it's just motherhood. You can all sum it up under one umbrella, and realize that this is hard. This is hard.
Motherhood is definitely not easy. As we come to a close, if you have any closing remarks for any of those moms out there,
Yes.
just go ahead and talk to them.
Well, yes. Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode. And thank you so much for inviting me today to share my story. Like I stated before, I do have self-defense products for women. So I just want you guys to feel safe and protected at all costs. And that's where our self-defense products for Brave Defense comes into play. And like I was stating earlier, I am really on the next mission of helping mothers. So I will be I'm trying to gather other mothers that are going through the same things, and maybe us telling our stories. And that is going to be through my podcast that I am going to be starting. Up and coming. I did post my first episode last week. This week, I don't even know, but it was recent.
Yeah.
And I was scared, but I was so proud of myself for doing it.
I'm proud of you.
I didn't have a day or a time. I didn't know what I was talking about. I didn't know what I was doing. I just did it at a leap of faith. And it was because I was surrounded by mothers who encouraged me to just do it.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we need. We need other mothers who are willing to talk about the hard. The good is beautiful, but the hard is what helps other mothers feel seen and validated, and you can actually help somebody through your story.
Most definitely.
So I'm definitely on this next mission of talking about it, telling my story, and listening to other mothers as well. So I will be, like I stated, I will be creating my own podcast. It will be titled the Send Help Podcast, because that was my name at first. Send Help First Time Mom. That was
Send Help. I love it.
That was Send Help First Time Mama.
So you heard it right here at the Trulogy podcast. New podcast launching, the Send Help podcast, founded by Miss Tylea Davenport. And I'm so excited. Can't wait to hear all of the episodes and be of support as much as I can. Hey guys, it has been great. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Trulogy podcast. I'm looking forward to being able to hear your Trulogy, your story. Trulogy is where the old self died and the new self resurrect. It's time. What you waiting on, girl?
What are we waiting on?
See you soon.
Bye.